welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and today is Sunday, July 3rd, 2022. Welcome to episode 67.
Yeah, and we're just back from vacation.
Yes, this is going to be a different episode than we've done in the past. This is more like podcast episode / family vacation video.
Yeah, because we promised the folks that we would take, if they'd put pictures in a particular group that we had, we would create a montage for the group to be able to watch and see the pictures and everything. So this will be kind of cool for them. And for our normal viewers, you get to see our vacation and the stuff that we've done. We're going to give you a little bit of what went down and
what didn't go back up again.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, we spent the week in Avon, North Carolina, which is on Hatteras Island in the Outer Banks, with Kevin's family.
Yeah.
And we stayed in a beautiful house.
On the sound side, yeah.
On the sound side,
pretty much very close to the
it had
sound.
a deck looking on the east side of the house that there was like a little lake right behind us and then some houses and you could see the ocean because Hatteras Island at its widest point I think is only like 3.5 miles wide. So you could see the ocean on the east side of the house. And then if you went over and sat on the deck on the west side of the house, you could see the sun setting over the sound.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So we got sunrise and sunset views every day.
Plus, we had that like she was saying, a little lake with a little island in the middle of that, and
teeming with life, which was cool.
Birds, all different types of birds, and
a nice deer family.
Yeah, they were not afraid of people at all. You can tell they were used to people just.
Every time you drove somewhere. They'd be on the side of the road. They played in the little banks of the little lake we were at. And, the house was beautiful. It had, I don't know, maybe 7 bedrooms. Yeah. 5 floors, but technically 4 living floors.
Yeah, one of them was basically
one was like a
landing.
Carport landing kind of floor. A private pool. Mm-hmm. A pool table, a movie theater room, an elevator, a hot tub, a huge kitchen. The whole top floor, the 5th floor, was just kitchen and living room and dining room.
And just normal living stuff. They had a nice laundry room with 2 stackable washer dryers. They had
full kitchen.
Full kitchen.
Yeah.
With a big ice maker and everything. It was great.
The thing that surprised me, because, we live at the beach, and so it's hot. It's like humid, ridiculous heat. And the week there was perfect. Like, if I could live in that kind of temperature all summer long. And granted, Kevin and I didn't really go to the beach proper. We did one day, but we're not really beach people. Mm-hmm. But sitting on the decks and even sitting at the pool, there was a breeze coming in, either over the sound or from the ocean. There was no humidity. It was just wonderful to sit out on the decks and watch what was going on and just comfort. And, I mean...
Yeah, it was good.
I can't say enough. The weather was. There was one day where it was kind of cloudy and overcast. It rained really early in the morning. Apparently, yeah. I didn't see it rain.
I did.
We didn't really see rain until we were driving out on Saturday.
Yeah.
But the weather was beautiful. The pool was beautiful. The house was beautiful.
Comfy.
So we had. The house that we stayed at, which had all of Kevin's immediate family in it, his brothers,
their
and their
wives,
families,
and whatnot. Yeah.
And then there was another house that Kevin's Aunt Teresa, who is the last remaining of the sisters.
Yeah, my mom's sister.
His mom's sister. Her children and their families were at another house.
Yeah.
About a mile away, and so. We did, dinner over there 2 nights, dinner over at our house 2 nights with everybody, and
Yeah, it was good stuff. There was a little celebration because it was my aunt's birthday. Was one of the nights there, and they combined it with a birthday / graduation with.
well, they had Kayla's birthday. She turned 20, and your aunt turned 77.
77, yep.
They had a little birthday party, and then they had a graduation party because Tina's daughter, Leanne... Tina's son, Paul, and Terry's daughter, Leanne, both graduated from high school.
We needed a scorecard. There was too many people there that had too many kids, and everybody was running around. And
they had a lot of kids. We had Mason and Ryan.
Yeah, we had Mason and Ryan. And Odin.
And
You'll meet Odin.
London and Isaiah for a little while.
Yeah.
And then, Kevin's brother, Billy, and his wife, Jen, brought Odin, their 6-month-old puppy who is just massive.
Yeah.
But the sweetest dog. So we had them at our house. So we were pretty busy the whole week.
Yeah.
With people and events, but it was so relaxing.
It was very relaxing. We even took some naps and whatnot. That was cool.
We spent a few hours in the pool the first day, and then took like an hour and a half long nap. It's just nice not to have a schedule.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And I feel like I didn't do a lot of cooking, but there was a lot of cooking happening all the time.
Well, we cooked, like the first night we were there, we just ordered pizza, which in itself was kind of an adventure. There's in the middle of the island, there's a pizza joint called Nino's. It's been there forever. When I used to work down there, it was open. And they are one of the top pizza joints on the island. But they were so busy that they literally turned their phones off. So when we were trying to order, the phone kept going to busy. And it was like, okay, something's wrong. So we got in the car, me and my brother, who's going to pay for the first night, to go order pizza. And they said, yeah, we turned the phone off. We're too busy. I was like, that's a hell of a marketing strategy right there.
But it must have worked because...
I mean, it doesn't matter. They're
like one of the only pizza places. And
there's like 3 pizza joints on the... Well, there's probably more than that closer to Frisco, but...
If you've never been to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, it is not touristy. I mean, there are tourist places. There's souvenir shops here and there.
Nags Head's a little bit more touristy.
When you get onto Nags Head, when you get off the island, then you got a little bit more of a lot of the touristy stuff, and it's a little more crowded. But Hatteras Island is mainly for people who just want to do the beach and people who want to fish.
Yeah. Yeah,
and so it's not, stuff. There's not, like, no theaters, no, I mean, it really, it's just houses and sand. And so they were one of a couple of pizza places. So I'm sure they were really busy. And especially on Saturday night when, like, a good deal of the rental houses come in on Saturday night and you can't get in the house until 5 or 6 o'clock at night. I'm sure a lot of people ordered pizzas the first night.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then we did brats and hot dogs the next night. Kevin and I did it with some... I tried something new. I made a grits dish.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
I don't eat grits. I don't really like grits, but we were trying to think, like, what could we serve with this besides your standards?
And that came up on Pinterest, what goes with brats, and it was like one of those things that you saw on Pinterest that was like grits and cheese.
You look like you're, like, stoned. Are you like...
No, my eyes
Are you tired?
No, I got to clean my glasses is what I got to do. But anyway.
You're still tired from the vacation.
Kevin,
I will tell you, by the end of the week, Kevin definitely got his exercise in.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But we made, it's like you make grits in chicken stock
and
bacon grease. And then when they're done, you add in Velveeta cheese and butter, and then you bake it with bacon on top and white cheddar.
It's good. It's really good.
You add eggs and milk into it, so it's kind of like they're grits. I liked them, but I didn't.
The description.
Sure.
So
we made grits and baked beans with the brats that night.
Mm-hmm.
The next night was taco night.
Taco night with that was for Aunt Teresa and Kayla's birthday.
No, taco night was for graduation. Maybe that wasn't the next night then.
No, taco night. The graduate shit.
The graduation was tacos. I know for a fact because
Okay.
we have a million pictures with the people in front of the graduation thing.
Shit. I don't know. Fuck.
There was a birthday party. Was it Saturday night? It
No,
couldn't have been.
That was Monday. It was the
who
Saturday
remember? Anyway.
was pizza. Sunday was our brats. Monday was
the tacos.
the tacos. Yeah.
Tuesday was baked chicken. Wednesday at our house. Wednesday was the spaghetti night at their house. Thursday was game night at our house. And then Friday we did...
It was just a free for all because we were supposed to have
we did shrimp and...
Yeah, we did the shrimp and
crab legs, and then we ate tons of leftovers.
Yeah.
We had so much food. Because 2 of the nights we were cooking for 40 people.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of food.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it felt like we were, pretty much eating. And I was like, my diet has just, I didn't go crazy. I did still pay attention to not eating sugary stuff. And,
Yeah.
I had a couple of drunken Arnold Palmers.
Yeah.
While we were there, and had a couple of blueberry muffins because we found this place called Muffins and Scones.
Good breakfast.
Where one day we went and got a bagel breakfast sandwich, and they had muffins right out of the oven.
They did their bagel. I don't even know if they just took 2 bagel tops and put them together for the sandwich or if it's something they do. But
they just seasoned.
It was an everything bagel that was seasoned on both sides.
Yeah, there was...
It was crazy.
So
it was good. It
good.
was really, really good.
And I couldn't turn the blueberry muffins down.
Yeah, the blueberry muffins were something.
So we had that, and we did have ice cream a couple nights, and but I only gained 1.5 pounds.
Yeah,
the whole week.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So I was super happy with that. So on, I guess it was what night did they come to our house for baked chicken?
Wednesday.
Tuesday night. We had a big meal. Everybody was there. Kevin's Aunt Teresa is 77, and she's in a wheelchair, and she's on oxygen. And we had, come up the elevator, had her on the 5th floor, had a really nice time with her. I spent a lot of time with her, did her nails and everything. And then Kevin and I am not a late night person. I'm not a night owl. Yeah. So we were in bed by at least 10 every night.
We're checking out. We're tapping out.
And so we had gone to bed. And I did hear commotion, but it wasn't unusual. I was hearing commotion.
And I was asleep. I was so asleep. The
our
house
bedroom
could have been on fire, and I would have been asleep.
Our bedroom was right under the dining room, and so even in the morning, when there were only 2 or 3 people upstairs, it was loud. Mm. I heard some commotion in the middle of the night. I didn't pay much attention to it because people were up and drinking and visiting and goofing around, and that's just kind of what I thought people were doing. Come to find out, the elevator in the house just decided to, I don't know what happened to it.
Apparently there was a noise.
There was a huge noise. The elevator sounded like it fell in the elevator shaft. It was between floors.
Which essentially it did. Apparently what we found out later was that there was a sprocket that come loose. The chain was
you can tell he's been around his family. The mix between the Boston and the Suffolk.
Yeah.
The chain the sprocket come loose.
And yeah. Now I'm thinking that the elevator fell and then the emergency brakes kicked in. That's my thought.
And that could have happened.
Yeah. But the elevator was stuck between floors. And
either way, the elevator was out and they had Teresa in her chair on the 5th floor. So they decided to basically carry her in her chair down 5 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Which, in retrospect, they were all like, we should not have done that. What were we thinking?
Yeah, because they were... Some of them were drinking pretty well.
Had been drinking for a while.
And my brother Bill had not been, but Brother Bill wasn't doing all the heavy lifting. He was trying to.
Taking care of the feet end of the wheelchair.
Yeah, he was trying to, but apparently, there's, my cousin PJ, who's a freaking workhorse. He's built like a freaking giant. And then my cousin Terry's husband, Jeff, was a great guy. I love that guy. He's great. But he's the same thing. He's just, a giant bull. They start hoisting her up, and Bill's like, well, y'all got to slow down because he got to a point where they were moving faster than he was, and it was kind of messed up because if he'd slipped or something, they're all rolling down like a freaking boulder from Indiana
and with
Jones.
the oxygen and everything.
But
But it was like a half a flight and then a landing and then a half a flight and then a landing and then a half a flight. But
yeah, 44 steps.
44 steps we found out later because Kevin had Harley, who was...
Cute little girl. She's
5, just got out of kindergarten.
Just got out of kindergarten. And she's like,
probably
I
6.
want to know how many steps there are. So we'll go count them. So she comes back. She goes down.
Kevin said, count them on the way up, too, because I think there's more coming up than there is going down.
Yeah. She looked at me. She was like... I was like, yeah, check it. And then she'd come back. She says, there's 44. And I said, well, you got to count twice and measure once. So go ahead and count them again. And she did. And then I said, what you really want to do is triple check. She was like, no, fuck you, man.
She eventually did triple check.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were 44 steps. So, for someone like me, I'm not good on steps. I'm fat and I have arthritis in both knees and my hip, and we weren't sleeping in our own bed, so I woke up every morning with like my neck, my shoulders, my lower back, my hip, and my knees hurting just because we weren't in our own bed. But I did discover Advil Dual Action, which is Advil with acetaminophen, and I started taking that in the morning, and that stuff... I only need to take it in the morning, and it gets me through the whole day.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It makes me feel like I have more energy, and I can walk. I mean, I even went into a souvenir shop and walked around. And,
yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, I mean, I didn't go up and down as much after the elevator broke, but I did go. We went out a couple times, and I just took a couple floors at a time and then stopped and rested. And but everybody coming up the steps was like, oh, my God. Like, everyone was dying at the end of the week. But it turned out, and poor Kevin, up and down the stairs. But you should go weigh yourself. You should have weighed yourself this morning. He definitely got his steps in.
Yeah, definitely. I should have brought my Fitbit with me, but I didn't. It was just...
Who wants to care? Who wants to worry about their Fitbit while they're on vacation?
Yeah, I didn't want to worry about it. But it was crazy. But, it was... there was a lot of work involved, getting up and down stairs. The reason we were in the souvenir shop, this is funny, we had a coffee machine, which is nice, but we, first night, the day there, we realized there was no coffee filters, and no one thought to bring any, so I had to run to the store and get coffee filters. And then I realized that all of their cups are dink. They're like really dink
all
cups.
of their coffee cups are normal person-sized coffee cups.
So
and
I went to the
he
store.
does not use a normal size cup, and neither does Billy. We found out.
Yeah, we were like, my brother and I found out that we got a lot in common when it comes to the coffee. So we got, went to a souvenir shop, and I found some that were better size, not as big as my one I usually use, but so.
Yeah.
And I thought my mother-in-law was going to get pissed because
Kevin bought one for him and one for Billy.
Yeah.
And then we got a couple of insulated ones so that we could, Kevin could take his coffee in the car with him. And, we did without Starbucks for a whole week, although...
that's kind of not hard there because there isn't one on the island.
But
there's one at the at Wright Brothers Bridge right when you get into Nags Head.
Before you even get into Nags Head.
That shit is it. That's it.
But at Muffins and Scones, they did have iced latte, and we got that vanilla iced latte, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was Starbucks good.
Yeah.
I drank the sugar-free vanilla latte from Starbucks. That was not sugar-free, which is probably why it was so good. Yeah. But it wasn't overly sweet.
Well, they use sugar-free vanilla.
In the one on
Hatteras, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I asked them twice.
Then. Oh, well, then I don't feel so guilty about it.
Yeah, okay. That was fine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The only thing we got bad out of there was the
muffins and the big breakfast sandwich,
goddamn,
which we split. We got one on the way out, and we just split it because it's huge. But
some of those places down there, temptations were abound because there's, first of all, we didn't even get down there.
Oh my God,
fudge! They have fudge bars, and when I say fudge bars, I'm not talking about they just have wedges of fudge sitting on a counter. No, they have a bar like long displays with like whatever kind of fudge you can possibly imagine. They got more shit than you can imagine.
We didn't even make it onto Hatteras Island, and we passed a Forbes Candy, which I used to work for Forbes as a teenager. They're out of Virginia Beach. And I was like, oh, they have saltwater taffy. I haven't had Forbes saltwater taffy in so long. So I'm like, Kevin, run in and get a box of Forbes saltwater taffy.
And that's when I saw the first of the fudge bars.
Forgot to warn him because I used to make this fudge truffle thing, this peanut butter fudge truffle. That was my favorite thing to eat when I worked there. But I forgot to warn him about it because he came out and he was like, God damn it, they had all this fudge. It looks so good. But we got the saltwater taffy and we had a few pieces of that. And it was really good. Definitely a beach experience. You have to have saltwater taffy while you're on the beach. And then we did take one day and we drove out to the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. And the old site, because they moved it a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
The old site, you literally can drive up in a parking lot and walk out onto the sand straight. You don't have to cross over a dune. Yeah. Pretty much everywhere else, you're like climbing steps over a dune or walking up over a dune.
Yeah.
This place, you could just walk straight out to the ocean. And so we did that one day. We sat out
there. It's actually the site where my brother got married.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
We made it about halfway down the beach.
We got a little video from that.
And it was nice just to sit there. But coming back, I remember all the reasons why I hate the beach.
Yeah, sand.
The sand was so hot, I swear it burned the bottoms of my feet. It was so hot. And I was wearing shoes, no flip-flops. But, like, oh my God, I was like, I feel like I need to stop and, like...
learned that if you go to the island or going to a beach, you need to have beach shoes, like the
most people probably know that. We're not, you know... Well, I got in the car and Kevin had gotten a can of soda out of the cooler, and I just held it between my toes on the floor of the car just to cool my toes down. Because I'm like, I'm going to get a blister. It was so hot.
Yeah,
I am much more of a pool person, and I really enjoyed just sitting on the deck. And
we were going to go to Canadian Hole, which if you're going to the island and the sound side, they have small beaches where you can go, and Canadian Hole is one of those little beaches. And it's not much beach. It's really only maybe 10 yards of beach. But then you go out in the sound. The sound is very calm. I mean, so calm that you can walk out. The first 10 yards are a little difficult because it's broken up shells, so like seashells, so that's a little hard.
You need to wear the shoes.
But once you get past that, you can walk anywhere from a quarter mile up to a full mile up to your knees, and it doesn't get any deeper. Then there's a sheer drop. So
then you're in the abyss.
Yeah, then you're in the abyss. But I mean, you can, and people go out there and they swim. They do all the stuff that they feel like they need to practice, so they do like windsurfing and kite surfing, and then you can do some fishing out there. That people go for puppy drum or whatnot. They'll usually walk way the hell out and fish. So I mean, it's fun. The sound side was great, but when we tried to go there, it was like stupid
it was just
busy.
Really crowded, and I'm not much for really crowded.
Yeah. It's a little better if you have a 4x4. It gives you more options for that kind of thing.
Yeah, because you can just pull off the road onto the sand, but we don't have a vehicle that can do that.
No. Not to where I'd feel confident enough to where I wouldn't have to pay somebody $80 to get the hell out of it.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, it was an awesome week.
Fun.
Very relaxing.
Love connecting with the family again. It was great. It was
the most amount of time I've ever spent around your family.
Mm-hmm.
Continual, times. It was good to, connect with your brothers and their families and all, and Tabitha and Michael. It was also good to spend some time around your extended family.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of laughs.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So, yeah, we played some Screw Your Neighbor. We taught a lot of people how to play Screw Your Neighbor.
Some people love that shit. They're all about it. It's a simple one-card game, and,
For money. And I won, I don't want to say $10, but then I lost.
I couldn't win at all. I kept losing. It was crazy.
So, I don't know. But, it was really fun.
Yeah, we had a blast. It was a blast. Can't wait to do it again. It's just great.
So what we're going to do for the rest of this podcast is I am somehow going to figure out how to do montage of pictures and video.
Yep, we'll have some videos that we took. We have some pictures that we took. You'll get to see some of my family. You'll get to see some of the beautiful scenery down there. Some videos that we took. You get to see my niece and my other, well, essentially my blood niece and a couple of my other nieces. I have a lot of girls out there that I call my nieces that I don't have any blood relation to, but, you know.
Yeah.
They're my girls.
Yeah. So, pretty much that's what we're going to do.
They're real.
So, we're going to leave you with that, and then we will be back with our normal format next Saturday, right?
Well, we'll come back with an exit.
We'll have an exit?
Video, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, then we'll see you at the end of all the other stuff.
Back in a few.
2022.
How about y'all introduce yourselves
Oh,
and what we are to you?
my name is Nikki. I'm the greatest.
Down at my brother's house.
I'm Tabitha. I'm the best niece ever.
No, you look at me. I'm the greatest.
But I would leave.
That's all I got. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
Next week.
See you next week.
I mean, y'all could mention the fact that I took you to every damn movie ever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
All right. He probably spent hundreds of
We
dollars.
spent a lot of money in candy and tickets.
And, tickets.
He used to warm up my towels
He
for
took me
me.
to see American Pie 2.
All right, well, probably shouldn't mention that one.
Yeah.
I had a choice. She wanted to take.
Some other movie that your mom told us not to see.
Oh, did I go? I don't remember. My memory.
My mom was like, "Do not see this." And then
My
we
memory's
went
so
up there with
screwed.
Kevin. We're like, "We're seeing this movie."
I remember you taking to this movies all the time, and then, but I don't remember it. I'm too old now to remember what we actually saw.
What little bit of influence I thought I had was for shit.
I don't remember what
They
it was.
probably traumatized.
We saw so many damn movies.
That's great, Peach. Thanks for stepping
I
through.
didn't
That's
know we
awesome.
saw American Pie.
You didn't take me to any movies.
American Pie's
Ah,
pretty
bullshit, I did.
American
I took you to at least one.
American Pie
Just one.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, Jay and Silent Bob.
We had the choice of Jay and
Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob. Yes.
Yeah, and the lady at the counter was like, they say the F word 15 times at the beginning. You probably want to do American Pie 2. And I was thinking American Pie 1 wasn't too bad. I mean, yeah, he was fucking a pie or whatever, but, you know, it wasn't too bad.
It was.
And then next thing you know, they're having
It
like
was bad.
gay and
but-
lesbian orgies right in the middle of the
Like-
movie.
Oh yeah.
They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, I'm whipping out dildos, and my uncle's like geeking, and I'm just like, I'm 8 years old. I'm 8 years old, and I'm like,
Where?
This was a mistake.
I don't think I was there for that.
I'm like, what?
Was I there? I don't think I was there for that.
No, it was just me and him.
Oh, okay. It wasn't- I was like, I don't remember.
It's just y'all.
Because it was a
At
theater.
American
There was,
Pie 2.
the nearest theater was like 100
Was
miles away.
American Pie 2 when we were
The
8
workers
years
are
old?
like, something's
But
wrong.
we did
Were we
see
that? Are we that old?
Lion King
Yes,
and
you
IMAX.
are.
It was dope.
Damn it.
And we saw
Damn it.
Star Wars.
Just
IMAX.
wait.
Star
I would
Wars
like to
and
hear that
IMAX,
shit.
but I
Tell
cried
me
because
about
she
it.
wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. I just remember sitting there, we were in the very middle seat, and there's all these people packed. There was not one seat available, and we're in the very middle, and I had to pee, and I was so young, and Kevin was like, no, we ain't getting up. He's like, you gotta wait to the end, and I'm just fine.
He's looking at him like, yeah, worst uncle ever.
I'm gonna piss on
No, he was the best uncle ever. He
He
made me love the Beatles. Respect for the Beatles came from this
Shout out
man
the
right
Beatles.
here. Shout out to the Beatles.
the Beatles.
The Eagles.
Eagles, the Beatles, they're all
Cockroaches.
All right, wrap it up, girls.
Kevin's like,
He's like, all right, cut.
This is for my show.
Oh, that's like,
You know I do a weekly show, right?
He does a weekly show.
I do a weekly podcast
About what?
about whatever. I mostly
Life.
talk about what's going on in my life
Where's
and
the
whatnot.
goofy at?
This is my
Last of the
Teresa.
yes.
She is the
And then like Bama is the complete.
well, the last remaining of the Lions women. She is.
Actually, I think the last no, there's one.
You did have a sisters.
They're only. I mean, my mother, my father had one. That had daughters, one daughter. That was whatever. There was like a couple of lines left.
All right, Auntie. What was the order? It was who was the oldest? And then
You and them mom. You and them mom.
That's okay.
yeah,
It's integration.
you live,
You saw that, did you?
and you've got what? How many kids here? How many grandkids? You got great grandkids here, right?
Yes. I got great grandchild here.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
When you he ain't a much to eat. He's around here somewhere. He does. Me, I don't know where. He met me today.
Denise is her grandchild. Chelsea's
Chelsea.
grandchild.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea's children are her great-grandchildren. Right? Right? Chelsea and her kids are yours.
And the baby is a great grandchild. A boy type. Most of the rest of them are girl type.
Hey, babe. Which one?
That's all right.
Which one is this, Steve?
All right, Auntie. I'm going to cut this off.
Bye-bye, Kevin.
playing Screw Your Neighbor, or like I like to call it Shit on Your Neighbor with the
I'm
fam.
the winner always.
You are not the winner always.
It's their game.
It's our game. Currently, me and Kelly
Kevin
are
is
out.
losing.
Currently, me and Kelly are out. We're losing. But you won the last one.
I won the last one.
And we're trying to teach little Paul how to play cards. Apparently, this is his very first game. All right, everybody, this is for the podcast. Say hey.
I didn't know how that.
All right.
No, I did.
All right, everybody.
Everybody. So taking a little bit of a trip down memory lane here for Kevin, but the night after our first date, I had a long conversation with Kevin on the phone, and he told me a story about what I'm about to show you. And I think it was the moment that I realized that I could be with this person for a while. So I'm going to flip this camera around here and let Kevin tell you this story.
Hey, everybody. That right there is a 100-foot bungee tower. I took 13 jumps off of that. 12 of those jumps were perfect. They were fantastic. The 13th jump, not so much. They had me testing a cord. And the new cord was supposed to be for a heavier person. So they figured I was the heaviest person there at the time, that I'd be perfect for testing this cord. They were fucking wrong. I was not heavy enough for the cord. So with a bungee cord, you're supposed to gently squeeze down and come back up and do that a couple times. I went down and said thump, because it might as well have just been a rope. It connects right here at your chest, so I was like, oh. So I'm like hurt. So then because of that action, instead of going up and down, I started swinging back and forth. Now below the tower was a race course for what they called the speedsters, which were big go-karts that had these foils on top. And they were extremely fast. And there was somebody running a race at the time. So I'm swinging back and forth. So more than half the time I wasn't above the bag anymore. So if the cable did snap, I was likely going to hit something other than the bag. So as I'm swinging, hurt, I kind of glance down and I'm either seeing cars running under me like this, or I'm getting I'm feet away from the tower itself. I was going to smack into the tower. They start lowering me down. Instead of gently going into the bag, I hit the bag doing a clip, probably maybe 10-15 miles an hour, swinging into the side of the bag. So I'm scraping my face on this burlap bag as they're lowering me down, and I get caught up in it, and I'm like hurt from that. I'm hurt from getting things. So I start trying to punch and fight my way out of the bag, and as I'm punching and fighting my way out of the bag, I hit the end of it without knowing it, and I rolled and landed on my fat ass on the ground, hurt from that. And the guy I worked with at the time come running up and he goes, "Man, that didn't work out at all." And I'm like, "I'm hurt, dude." He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about this cord. We're gonna have to, figure out a way so that." I said, "Dude, I'm hurt." And he's like, "You're gonna be all right." And I'm like, "Look, man, get me out of this rig. I need to get out of here." But there it is. It looks like the park's completely closed now.
It's all overgrown.
It's dead. There used to be the bumper boats right there. A lot of memories here. There was a kiddie town. There's little go-kart places. The boat pond is across the way there. All of it's overgrown. It's kind of sad for me, but you know, what are you gonna do?
So our travels continue today. You notice Kevin and I now have these really snazzy hats.
We did full tilt tourist.
We did full tilt tourist, and we went into an actual real deal souvenir shop, which I don't think I've been in a souvenir shop in 20 years. But anyway, we went in looking for Kevin's coffee mug, which we found a couple. But then I also found this really cool, we call them cancer hats at my house. And it unsnaps here on the side so that you don't get any sun on you. And I have a pretty big head, and this thing fit me like a glove and matched my dress. So yeah, I went full tilt.
Jockey's Ridge.
Oh yeah, there's Jockey's Ridge over there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Just a big tall. You really can't see it. Yeah, sand dune. Kevin got himself a cool OBX hat to protect his head. I keep getting my finger in front of the camera. Now I don't know what we're driving aimlessly to find something to drink. We're just gonna find a cool place to stop to quench the thirst. Alright, and then we're gonna start heading back out onto the island. Peace, y'all.
vacation. We had a great time with great people, a lot of laughs, beautiful scenery as you saw. So it was real cool. It's been a long time since we've been down to the island, and I loved every second of it. Thanks for everybody that was down there.
I'd like to give a special thank you to Tabitha.
Yes.
For all the work, because Tabitha lives in Avon, so she did a lot of work.
And really, she was the driving force behind it.
Organizing everything, making sure that, we had stuff we needed, and everybody had information about the area, and the rip currents, which...
Yeah, poor Leanne had a little trouble with that.
Leanne got pulled out in a rip current, and thank God she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But a special thank you to Tabitha and Michael for everything they did. A special thank you to Tommy and Darlene for everything that they did. And a special thank you to Billy and Jen for just
being awesome
being awesome all week, and the great food, and
bringing the dog. The dog really was awesome.
Yeah, filled my missing puppy needs. So.
Yeah, because we couldn't bring Tilly along because she would have been barking the whole time. She would have been.
Everybody would have hated her by the end of the week, but
we love her.
So anyway, that's
and she missed us when we come home. She was so excited to see us. It was great.
She was so excited she broke Kevin's chair.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week because I'm sure that there's more to it. But all in all, it was great, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Everybody that was on the vacation and saw the video, we put as many pictures in as we can. There was a lot of kind of repeats that we dropped out. So, love all you guys, and for our normal audience, I hope you enjoyed it. So, and we'll be back on a regular schedule next week.
We'll be back next Saturday with our regular podcast. But until then,
bye everybody.